machines. Dirt will disappear like magic. George didn't know whether Grandma was automatic or not, but she certainly was a dirty old woman, so she better have it all. There was a round cardboard carton on the shelf. It said, flea powder for dogs. Keep well away from the dog's food, because this powder, if eaten, will make the dog explode. Good, said George, and he poured it all into the saucepan. The next box was canary seed. Perhaps this will make the old bird sing, said George. Well now, thought George, Grandma's medicine is brown, so my medicine must be brown too, or she'll smell a rat. A good way to colour it would be with this tin of brown shoe polish. He scooped it out with an old spoon and plopped it into the mixture. And he was just about to go into the kitchen when he saw a bottle of gin near the door. Grandma was very fond of gin. She was allowed to have a small nip of it every evening. Now he would give her a treat. He would pour in the whole bottle. And he did. Back in the kitchen, George put the huge saucepan on the table. Then he had a look at the bottles and jars on the shelves. He chose a tin of curry powder, a tin of mustard powder, a bottle of extra hot chili sauce, a jar of black peppercorns, and a bottle of horseradish sauce. George, came the screechy voice from the next door room. What are you up to in there? Nothing, Grandma. Absolutely nothing.
Is it time for my medicine yet?
No, Grandma, not for about half an hour.
Well, just see you don't forget it.
I won't, Grandma. I promise, I won't. At this point, George suddenly had an extra good wheeze. Although the medicine cupboard in the house was forbidden to him, what about the animal medicines his father kept in the shed? Nobody had ever told him he mustn't touch those. Let's face it, George said to himself, hairspray and shaving cream and shoe polish are all very well, and they'll no doubt cause some splendid explosions inside the old geezer. But what the magic mixture needs now is a touch of the real stuff. Real pills and tonics to give it punch and muscle. In the dusty old shed, up on the medicine shelf, there were 5 big bottles. 2 had pills in, 2 had runny stuff in, and the last one had orange powder. The label on the powdery one said, for chickens with foul pest, hen gripe, sore beaks, gammy leg, cockroolitis, egg trouble, broodiness, or loss of feathers. Mix 1 spoonful only with each bucket of food. Well, said George, the old bird won't be losing any feathers after she's had a dose of this. The next bottle had gigantic purple pills in. For horses with horse throats, the label said. The horse-throated horse should suck 1 pill twice a day. Well, Grandma may not have a horse throat, George said, but she's certainly got a sharp tongue. Maybe they'll cure that instead. And into the pan went the gigantic purple pills. Then there was a bottle of thick, yellowish liquid. For cows, bulls and bullocks. Will cure cowpox, crumpled horns, bad breath in bulls, earache, toothache, headache, hoofaache, tailache, and sore udders. That grumpy old cow in the living room has every one of those rotten illnesses, George said. She'll need it all. And with a slop and a gurgle, the yellow liquid splashed into the saucepan. The label on the next bottle said sheep dip, for getting rid of sheep rot, ticks and fleas. Mix 1 spoonful in 1 gallon of water and slosh it over the sheep. Caution! Do not make the mixture any stronger, or the wool will fall out and the animal will be naked. By gum, said George, how I'd love to walk in and slosh it all over Grandma and watch the ticks and fleas go jumping off her. But I can't, I mustn't, so she'll have to drink it instead. The last bottle on the shelf had pale green pills in. Pig pills, for pigs with pork prickles, tender trotters, bristle blight and swine sickness. Give 1 pill twice a day. More than that will make the pig rock and roll. Just the stuff for that miserable old pig back there in the house, said George. She'll need a very big dose. Finally, just for luck, he put in half a pint of engine oil to keep Grandma's engine running smoothly, and a handful of grease to grease her creaking joints. Then he staggered back to the house with the enormous heavy saucepan to give it a good quick boil on the stove. Soon the marvellous mixture was frothing and bubbling. The rich blue smoke filled the kitchen with a fiery, fearsome smell. It was brutal and bewitching, spicy and staggering, fierce and frenzied, full of wizardry and magic. Whenever George got a whiff of it up his nose, firecrackers went off in his skull, and electric prickles ran along the backs of his legs. Suddenly, he found himself chanting strange words that came into his head out of nowhere. Fiery broth and witch's brew, foamy froth and riches blue, fume and spume and spoon drift spray, frizzle, swizzle, shout hooray! Watch it sloshing, swashing, sploshing, hear it hissing, squishing, spissing. Grandma better start to pray. There was only one problem. Grandma's ordinary medicine was brown, and the new medicine was a deep and brilliant blue colour. It needs more brown in it, said George. It simply must be brown, or she'll get suspicious.